Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general tarot reading for Gemini for the month of October 2025. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Prince of Pentacles. This is the builder. It would be a very good month for you to continue building what you're building in life. Not to lose focus, not to start tinkering with the plan, not to slow down, not to speed up, but just keep doing it. Feels like a month of showing up on time, putting in your best effort, and then clocking out, going home, relaxing, and knowing that tomorrow is another day. Okay? So it's kind of a month, seems like it's going to be steady progress. This is that card of steady, reliable, practical actions. Okay? Do things this month that you will see kind of like a real life, like a real return, you know? Something that you'll be able to see the progress that you're making as you make it. Like you'll be able to go home at the end of the day and say, that was a productive day. Okay? It's a month for consistency, for sticking to the plan, and for patient effort. Stay the course, right? The kind of methodical work right now is really going to win the month. Yeah, very good card here. For some of you, this is going to be business, work. It's going to be career stuff. This is going to be your business, your home business, right? It's going to be your money, right? Some of you, it's going to be creativity. Some of you, it's going to be your physical fitness. For some of you, it's going to be relationships. Continue to build the relationship. Build the home, build the family, whatever you're building. Let's put this into a little bit of context. And we have a Nine of Swords. That's a very interesting card to get with our builder. There we have a Queen of Cups. We have an Eon card, Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening. We have a Five of Wands. And we have a Four of Pentacles. We have the Devil card. We have a Princess of Cups. You have a Wheel of Fortune, very nice. And you have a Prince of Cups, kind of the emotional builder, right? Prince of Pentacles being kind of the physical builder. Here's the emotional builder. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to put it down right here with our little sea turtle friend right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your predictions down in the comments below. All right. As we look around the room, we see major arcana cards. We see fire. We see water, good water. We see a little bit of air, okay? And that air, yeah, it seems like it is challenging, but at least it's there, and it's in one place where we can see it. It's the only place in the reading where there is air, and then there's the earth energies. So what is the Nine of Swords for this month? Well, the Nine of Swords is anxiety, despair. It's the pain of separation, okay? It is, it's some of that energy that kind of like sleepless nights, you know, where we wake up in the middle of the night feeling like we're worried about something. We're overwhelmed by something. We're restless in our sleep, you know? And I think that it's important this month to face whatever this is that's been bothering you. If there's a thorn stuck in your paw, it's time to address that. Whether this is at work, at home, at school, in your relationships, in your career, whatever it is, this is a time for not turning away from what's ailing you, but by facing it. The only way, because this is either going to help or hinder whatever you're trying to build in your life anyway. So don't let it hinder your progress by ignoring it. Then you got a thorn in your paw, right? Well, eventually it's going to get so bad you're not going to be able to continue going on, continue doing your work or building your life. So I think it's really important that you identify something in your life right now that may be weighing heavily on your mind, that may be causing some anxiety. Okay, and maybe it's simply, facing it, talking about it, getting it out in the open, getting it out on the table. It might clear things up really quick. Yeah, because this is in the realm of the mind. Yeah, and so it's something that I think you've been thinking about a lot. But there needs to be kind of a release of that thought. Okay, and with that pain of separation, maybe it could be anxiety over the future. Maybe this is simply saying I clock in every day, I do the work, right? I'm building something, but I don't know. I'm worried about it succeeding. I'm worried about whether or not it's going to, whether we're going to be safe, whether we're going to make it. I worry about the future. Looking ahead and thinking, I don't know what that future is going to bring. Looking at the sort of dark, scary forest of tomorrow. It could be for some of you that there is some anxiety about going into the job, about we show up every day, we try to do our very best, but there's something there. There's a person maybe, there might be some drama going on at work that's making it difficult to really want to go in every day and do your best. This could be something this could be something happening in your personal relationships. Okay. The thing about the 9 of Swords is that if we don't address it, if we don't find out what the problem is and get rid of it, it's a misery multiplier. You leave that thorn in your paw too long, it's going to get infected. It's going to ruin the whole hand. Pretty soon your whole arm is going to start hurting. Your whole body is going to get upset by that. So it's kind of like finding out what the problem is. Like what is the thing keeping you up at night? Okay, so I feel like October is going to be a month really of making a lot of progress and trying to maintain that progress, trying to keep your motivation. Because if you have a misery multiplier, then pretty soon this very stable and steady committed work is going to get less stable, less committed, and less steady. Okay? So the question could be, you're doing all this work, are you enjoying it? And if not, why not? What is preventing you from enjoying the work that you're doing now? I think the 9 of Swords here is it's us trying to figure out what is really at the bottom of this restless night. Why are we not sleeping so well? Okay, this could be a card of nightmares. It could be a card of, kind of other worries and other concerns or things going on in other areas of your life that are just kind of disturbing, like what you really care about, what you really want to do. So I think this is, it's important that if there is something like this going on for you, it would be a good time to address it, find out what it is, and to take care of it, to clear the air. Yeah. It's a good time, I think, this month for kind of doing a self-check-in, making sure that there's nothing going on with us that's going to prevent our steady progress. Looking for anything that might be siphoning away energy, stealing energy from you. Anything that might be stealing resources, time, effort, energy, money, or space from you. So that you can, continue we're going to do the routine maintenance on the car because we know that we're going on a really long road trip. So we're going to make sure there's nothing going on in any of the engine systems or whatever that it's going to come back to haunt us later. You will have to excuse me if this audio drops out once in a while because I'm hitting the cough button because obviously I'm still a bit sick. My voice hopefully will hold out for the length of the reading, but I'll try to make it fast. Generally, 9 of Swords this month. Don't let anything linger that is going to affect your ability to continue building your life. Okay, that I think is the general message there. Going beneath the surface with that Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is a card of emotional transparency. It's emotional honesty. It's very nurturing, very intuitive, very reflective. Okay, a deep emotional understanding. It's kind of this is the position of what your heart wants. Your heart wants emotional depth. Your heart wants resonance. Your heart wants love and compassion. Your heart wants to feel like activated. Okay? For some of you, this, it could be the painful realization that the work you're doing now isn't exactly bringing you all of the happiness and all the rewards that you thought it was going to. Okay? It may be that you're going through a challenging period where it's like growing pains. Okay? And it may be, the cards may be saying, push through those because you're going to arrive at a stability and you're creating a really stable foundation. If this is a new job, it's kind of like the first few weeks might be really challenging. Okay? But the Queen of Cups, I feel like your heart really wants to be open, to be felt. Okay? You're in life, I think you're searching for depth. You're searching for meaning. You're searching for authenticity. If you're searching for romance, those of you that are interested in love, this is a heart that really wants a deeper connection, not just surface level, shallow relationships, wants really deep, meaningful things. Okay? This is, I think for a lot of you, this is the desire for kind of a tranquil life, for a calm existence. I don't want a rough go of things anymore. I just want things to be easy. Yeah. And of course that Nine of Swords is us kind of catastrophizing and thinking this is not going to be easy. Or maybe there is something that's not making it easy. There's something that's preventing you perhaps from feeling the gentleness and just the flow of life. This is also self-acceptance and self-love. Some of you are dealing with that Nine of Swords too. This could be really a negative internal dialogue. Because I think what your heart wants is to be accepted. I think a lot of you are dealing with that self-worth. This is radical self-love, radical self-acceptance, and self-compassion. The Nine of Swords is us perhaps being very cruel to ourselves. Okay. So this month, really be mindful, and I use that word intentionally. Be mindful of how you're talking to yourself. Are you lifting yourself up? Are you being compassionate with yourself? Or are you being too harsh? Okay, I think that's a big, it's kind of like with that builder energy, I think you'll be able to build a better life being kind to yourself than being too strict or too disciplined. I think some of you are really like a taskmaster with yourself. Too much discipline, too much restriction, too much kind of denying ourselves the good stuff, right? Because we're trying to make more progress more quickly. Yeah, so I would be mindful of some of those concepts in the month of October. All right, Gemini? And of course, this is Mars in Gemini too, by the way. And so this is that kind of, I think it's kind of a special omen for you, Gemini, which says like, just be careful about how you talk to yourself. Okay, it's a good month to be aware of that. And to do that self-check-in and to really find out if there's anything going on in your life right now that you feel like is kind of like stealing your energy away or kind of, helping you feel worse about yourself. You know what I mean? So let's look in last week's energy. I feel like you had or last month, I would say, I guess you had a big breakthrough recently. I feel like this is a major doorway. This was a decision that you made, I think, a month or so ago, recent past. I mean, it could be a couple weeks. It could be, it could be a month or so ago. I feel like this was a big step that you took into the future. And I feel like you didn't really know what it would be like when you got here. I think you wanted it to be a certain way, but the reality is it's more of a challenge than you thought. That's okay. All right, we can still get through this, and I think if you do push through, obviously you're getting to a lot of stability with the Four of Pentacles. And we see a lot of good stuff over here on the path of the Serpent too. So whatever this decision was, I feel like it was an awakening. Okay, it was a wake-up call. The Eon card is kind of really a clean break with the past and being open to constructing a new future. Basically what it says is that the past has been crushed to dust. And the new reality is yours to build. And so it makes perfect sense that you're now the builder because you're constructing your reality. And as you construct your reality, this Nine of Swords is saying you have to know exactly what you want and what you do not want. The things you will not tolerate in life, in your world. Okay. So this was a very decisive step. This was you rising up and starting a new era in your life. Okay. And the Nine of Swords may be really just the kind of the pain of the beginning, the growing pains of this new life that you're building. For some of you, this is going to be a major transition from, let's say, career into retirement. This is going to be, going from school into the workforce. This may be a major life milestone. This may be a rite of passage. Okay. For some of you, this is quitting a job. For some of you, this is getting married. For some of you, this is getting divorced. This is any kind of a big life-changing thing, which is, it's something that you have to sort of choose. You get to participate in. Right. But it's something that on the other side of that, really I think it's kind of like a blank slate that you were given, where you were being told to create the universe that you want to exist within. Okay. And so I think that as the Judgment card, I think that this was you making a judgment, making that kind of a decision. And now you are dealing with the consequences of that decision. And at first it may feel like regret. That Nine of Swords may be saying, maybe I didn't make the right choice here. Okay? I think the cards are telling you to push through. That Five of Wands is kind of a push card. This is the five-fingered hand. This is a month for reaching out into the world and using your power. This isn't the card of strength, but this is the card of you using your strength. Yeah, reaching out into the world and constructing that reality. So you're being told to push. You're being told, I feel like you're being told that, look, jackpot's on its way. You've got to keep pushing. You got to push past the discomfort right now or the doubt. Okay, this is something I kind of feel like you're looking at your life as being sort of a test. I feel like it feels like the energy in your life, at least for October, is going to be testing your resolve, testing your faith, testing your belief in yourself. Your mind, right? This is the card, the position of what's on your mind. You're expecting friction. You're expecting to have to stand up and assert yourself and use your power. Okay? Very important message here. Use your power. Expect there to be some sort of pushback. And maybe that Nine of Swords is really just your mind saying, this is too hard. And this is you kind of saying, okay, I expected that. I knew that I would start to kind of, not want to do this, but I need to push through. Okay? It's kind of like when I tell myself, I'm going to ride the bike today. And I get a couple miles into it, my mind starts thinking, this is miserable. I don't want to do this. I want to stop right now and have a bowl of ice cream. This is me showing my power, using my power, and saying, I'm pushing through. I've got to do it. Because it's leading to better things. So I feel like you're understanding that the immediate experience is not an indication of the long-term results. Okay? You got to have your eyes on the prize in a way here. You may be expecting arguments or some kind of rivalry this month. as well, especially as your heart is looking for real connections and real bonds and authenticity and looking for deeper meaning. Okay, if those of you that are in a relationship or dealing with family members and things like this, I feel like there is friction in that area, because I feel like you kind of like have a desire to just be accepted for who you are. Okay, maybe it's at home, maybe it's at work, maybe it's at school. This desire to just to be yourself. You want to accept yourself. You want other people to accept you too. And I think that you're willing to kind of advocate for yourself, stand up for yourself, and sort of demand the life that you want. And if these aren't the people, or it's not the person, or it's not the environment for you, change it. Change it, right? This is that card of using your power. And you have the power to change course. You have the power to decide which direction you want to go, to stay or to leave some situation. Some of you could be dealing with some kind of an injury or an illness. This is the card that's saying you've got to advocate for yourself. You've got to speak up, and you've got to ask for the tests that you want. And you've got to be bold in your life right now. Okay, I'm not a doctor. This isn't a medical reading, but whatever's going on in your life in October, Gemini, you've got to speak up, and you've got to stand up for what you need and what you want. And don't be afraid of being too, I don't want to be pushy, or, I don't want to be too loud, and, I don't want to be obnoxious. I don't want to impose, and you're not. That's their job. They're supposed to do, whatever you're asking them to do. That's their job, So advocate for yourself. If it means you got to call them every day and ask where it is, keep calling them every day and asking them where it is. Don't say, well, I don't want to offend anybody, or I don't want to be a troublemaker. I don't think it's you causing trouble. It feels like something in October is serious enough that you shouldn't worry about bugging them by calling them too often, or by really getting on their case and saying, where is it, or it needs to be done, or, so it's kind of like some of you might be waiting on something that you need. And it's okay for you to continue to remind the other party that it's sort of, that you're waiting for it, and they need to get on the ball. It doesn't feel like it's something that can just wait. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think that there is this this kind of friction going on for some of you, and I think that it's important that you don't take anything too personally this month. Okay, it feels like there's a lot of businessy type stuff going on, but there's also a very you're going to be emotionally sensitive. You're going to want to take it personally. Okay, but even if you do find there's just in October general friction with people, Gemini, don't take it personally. It's just the nature of the energy where everybody's got a lot to do and people may forget stuff, and it's just a matter of vocalizing, speaking up, and again, advocating for yourself, standing up for yourself, and getting what you need. Okay. Now, in the future position, Four of Pentacles, this could be towards the end of the month, or even going into next month. Okay, a lot of stability. Okay, if there is some kind of injury or illness, I feel things are really stabilizing. Because of your ability to advocate for yourself, things are going to stabilize. Okay, the Four of Pentacles is really a consolidation of power, right? It's this position that you're maintaining. It's power, it's security, it's structure. Okay, so this is you reaching out into the world and making changes, advocating for yourself and that sort of thing, asserting yourself, being assertive. And this is the result of that assertiveness. Okay, so towards the end of the month, you're going to see a lot of the goals, a lot of the resources. Maybe for some of you, this is a financial thing, and the Nine of Swords is a financial worry. Maybe this is about financial health. Well, the Five of Wands is you out there doing whatever it takes, hustling, in order to bring about this foundation and this stability. Okay, this is about the management of resources and even a claim to authority for you. Okay, this could be a milestone that you're going to be reaching by the end of the month. Okay, or at the latest, like the beginning of November, but I kind of think towards the end of October, Gemini. This is the sun in Capricorn. This is the recognition of a particular peak. I don't want to say the summit, because the summit kind of implies that it's like the last peak. You know, the summit, what is the summit but the highest peak of a mountain? I feel like there is no summit, really. I feel like it's peak after peak after peak after peak. And so this is telling me that towards the end of the month, a lot of you are going to be experiencing a very nice bonus, financial bonus. It could be a big sale that you've been trying to push through. It could be a really important milestone in your career. It could be a promotion. I feel like it's really going to help to stabilize some of that worry, Nine of Swords energy that we have. Okay. This is about structure. This is really what you're building. And that Nine of Swords is anything that's preventing you from building this, this castle, this house, this domain of yours. In terms of physical health, this really could be you finding out what the thorn is in your paw and pulling out that thorn, tending to the wound, and this is the healing of the wound. And now your hand is just, it's perfect again. If I feel like this month it is through your effort, your assertiveness, your advocating for yourself, and your recognizing your value and loving yourself and knowing kind of what your talents are too, that is going to create a very nice abundance for yourself. A very nice sort of stability in your resources. This is not necessarily the finished product, but this is a very nice place to be, to kind of take a step back and look at what you did and say, wow, okay, I really made some progress here. Yeah. So in the longer arc of the month, I think the end of the month is going to see real progress from where you started. Even if that Nine of Swords is us feeling like there's no progress to be made, this is miserable. I think we have to change our mindset a little bit this month. And we have to sort of stick to the plan, even though that Nine of Swords is making us feel like this is kind of hopeless and miserable. Yeah. So I like the Four of Pentacles here. I think that it shows that it is through your, again, emphasizing that it's through your effort that you're reaching a very important milestone by the end of the month. All right, Gemini? Now, we're going to talk about more Capricorn energy on the path of the Serpent. You have the Devil card, of course. The Devil card is the engine of the car. The Devil card gets a really bad rap. Everybody thinks it's evil, it's temptation, it's obsession. We're chained to something. We're bonded, It might be obsession, yeah. But it could be an obsession that is very useful. If you're obsessed with the right things, then I think it's really a way of making focused and rapid progress, okay? This is the engine of the car. The engine doesn't care where you take the car. That's up to you. The engine is not evil. The engine is just power. This is creative power. This is your driving force. It's your motivation. Okay, so this is really, I think this is going to be a very motivated month for you. A month really of you kind of, in a way, I almost feel like you're proving yourself. You're kind of like you're proving your value, and maybe you're just proving it to you. Maybe it's just like you want to see that you're capable of making this progress, that you're capable of pushing through your discomfort and getting it. whether it's physically or financially, career, maybe it's schoolwork, or, whatever it is, creatively. This is your generative drive. This is really your focus and maybe even obsession, healthy obsession, on something that is going to live longer than you. Think about that. What are you creating in your life that's going to live longer than you? Your kids, right? Your business, your impression on other people, right? Your friendships, maybe artwork, books, music. Maybe you're making TV shows, I don't know. I hope people still watch these tarot readings long after I'm gone. But the point really is that we're not going to be around to see that. I'm never going to know who watches the channel after I'm gone. Hopefully that won't be for 100 more years, but then I'll be 121. But we're not going to know. Well, we're never going to know who's going to show up to our funeral, right? Not to bring it down to a morbid level, but we're not going to know. So all we can really do is do our very, very best right now in any given moment. Maybe this should be the monologue for the death card, but whatever. We got the devil. It's close enough. Motivated to leave a mark on the world, to make a dent on the universe, right? Shout out to Chris Reck over at Minnow Pond. We're trying to leave our legacy behind. And I think that, Gemini, this month of October is going to be a very good month for that. And if I were you, I would focus more of your energy on building, at least keeping in mind that some aspect of what you're building is going to exist long after you're gone. And it's like you want people to still have that available to them, or still partake of that, or still enjoy that. And so it really is going to give you a kind of a new perspective on the work you're doing, and almost a sense of like importance, a sense of depth, and kind of what we're searching for here. We're searching for meaning. You're finding meaning and motivation to climb that mountain and continue your work hardcore. Healthy obsession. Because there's meaning, it's important work. It's not just surface level stuff that doesn't mean anything. It's going to wash away with the tide. No, this is the deep meaning of life for you. Okay, so I think this month is kind of a reconnection with purpose. And I like that. I like it a lot. Yeah. In your relationships, you got a Princess of Cups. There might be a younger female energy in your life that is causing you a little bit of grief. I would say for some of you, you might be entertaining like a younger family member, or somebody staying with you or something like that. I feel like there's also a lot of red herrings in your life this month. There's a lot of things that are going to try to distract you and distract your feelings, but sometimes the Princess of Cups is like all these other dreams, hopes, wishes, fantasies, and things that seem very tempting. The problem is that you're committed to the deeper purpose in life. And so these are just the fish that are swimming up toward the surface, and you don't want to worry about those fish. Okay? So with that Nine of Swords, connecting the Nine of Swords with our Princess of Cups, it may be a challenge to you this month to stay focused on what you are building and what your goals are, because there are a lot of temptations swimming around you. Okay? And so in this case, I kind of feel like don't let the Princess of Cups drive the car. So maybe it is a kind of a younger family member staying with you. Their shenanigans, right, are going to distract you from what your work is. And you've got to just try to deal with that the best you can. See, the Nine of Swords is, again, the pain of separation. It's Mars in Gemini. Well, Gemini, your card is the Lover's card. So the Nine of Swords represents all those things that you didn't choose. And kind of the pain of seeing, like, I don't know, it's almost like you're really busy studying for your math test or whatever, right? You see all your friends outside playing ball or whatever, and you're just like kind of mad. You know, like you're doing your homework, you're focused, you have this healthy obsession with your education or something, and you see everybody else in your life is out partying, right? And that 9 of Swords becomes that sting. It just kind of hurts. Every time your friends say, hey, you want to go out and party? And you say, no, I got to study for my math, you know? Like anybody's ever said that, right? And that's just it just stings every time. It hurts me every time I look out the window. I see my friends playing ball, but here you are, you know, writing your essays or your equations or whatever. So it could be a little bit of fear of missing out. Okay, especially with the Princess of Cups over here. And like I said, it's kind of a red herring. Sometimes this is the fish in the percolator. It's there, it's very curious, but it's not really part of the story. You know, it's something that we like to get distracted by, but it doesn't mean much. Okay. And so in terms of your relationships, don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about, you know, feeling as if other people have it so much easier, or other people don't have the responsibilities that you have, or other people seem to be having more fun than you in October. By the end of the month, you're going to have secured for yourself some very solid foundation. I think you're going to get to really enjoy Halloween and some of the festivities coming up in the next month or two, you know? So I feel like right now is like you just got to finish out this month, and then things are going to get much easier for you, and then I think you will be able to indulge in some of these things that maybe right now you're feeling like you're missing out on. So this is the position of your environment and your relationships, right? So I think that these are things that your heart, you want. Like you want the ice cream. You want to go out and party. You want to go have, you know, play ball with your friends. And you can. First, you got to finish your homework. It's very simple, you know? And I think this is the month where, you know, you're reconnecting with that sense of purpose, and you're going to dig your heels in and you're going to push. And it's going to be very rewarding, because by the end of the month, you're going to get to enjoy all these things that you had to deny yourself. All the parties, all the basketball games, all the ice cream, it's still going to be there. The thing about the freezer, it'll preserve the ice cream for a long time. I mean, I found ice cream in my freezer that's probably a year old, and it's still perfectly good. It can wait. You know, what you're working on now can't wait. Anyway, the next card, Wheel of Fortune. Expanding. This is jackpot energy. Okay. I feel like this is the month where you are really going to see a rapid increase in progress. And I think that it's going to be a turnaround. I think that, like, literally this month, you're going to see a lot of signs, symbols, and synchronicities just flooding in. Now, this is the position of your hope, okay? Sometimes this is the position of the fear. And if we're looking at the 9 of Swords as being anxiety and or fear, it makes sense that we're starting to fret over the future. We're starting to fret over the divine timing, and is this really going to happen? And like, am I making the right sacrifices? Is it really a good idea for me that made this decision? Is it really a good idea for me to just be the builder and keep working toward this future when I could be out having fun? Okay, I feel like this month is the turning point. Yeah, I feel like fortune is really favoring you and your healthy obsession right now. I feel like whatever this decision was is the right decision. This is the card of profit, a card of expansion, a card of growth. Yeah. And I think that this is really kind of a good omen for a lot of new opportunities coming into your life. I feel like this month, Spirit is going to open a lot of doors for you. Some of them will be tempting distractions, red herrings, fish in percolators. Some of them will be jackpots, okay? The thing is, you got to spin the wheel. You've got to trust in your intuition. You got to trust the signs that you see in the world around you. And you got to believe that you know which ones to push through and which ones to ignore. This is the card of divine timing. Okay? And so I kind of feel that there is a message here that's saying, look, the wait is over. Whatever's been troubling your mind, you just have to push through for a little while longer and everything's going to be rewarded. Everything's going to be revealed to you. And it may be like the Nine of Swords may be saying, like, look, you've been showing up every day, but progress hasn't been there. You've been showing up every day and it feels like things aren't getting better. Everything's going to turn around. If you've been feeling lately that you've been on the bottom of the wheel, you know, between the rubber and the road, that's all changing by the end of the month. So hold fast, dig your heels in, and push. Okay? Now, your long-term destiny card, this is the future, long-term. This is what you're destined for. This is the bigger arc of your life, and it's the card of authenticity. This is really, the cards, Gemini, are saying that in the longer course of your life, you're going to get to live how you want to live. And that's worth the temporary suffering and sacrifice. The pain of right now is worth it. Like going to the gym and, you know, being really strict with your food and all that kind of stuff. It sucks right now. But imagine on the other side of all that effort, the result being you get to live the life that you want to live. You get to do all the things that you want to do with no restrictions. So I kind of feel like you're forcing yourself a lot of discipline right now because you're looking for this kind of creative freedom later. The bigger picture of your life, the larger arc of your story is one of authenticity. The Prince of Cups, living life on your terms, living life the way you want to, having all the enjoyments of life that you want to have, being able to immerse yourself in whatever you choose. That is not just a Princess of Cups, a fleeting, a whim, I'm just going to do what feels good now. That's the thing about the Princess of Cups. Does what feels good in the moment. Isn't thinking long term. You're thinking long term, you want to be able to enjoy all the good things of life for a long, long time. And that's what you're sort of setting up for yourself. This is romantic, this is adventurous, this is passionate. Okay? This is you following your heart. This is you living a life where you get to go and chase down whatever moves your soul. First, you got to do your homework, you know. First, you got to do this hard work and you got to have that discipline. You've got to go through that pain of not having this in order to get this. Okay? And this goes for career, this goes for relationships, this goes for physical well-being. We all want to be the Prince of Cups. You know? Because this is that freedom. You know, a sustained passion, the ability to live the life we want to live, to travel where we want to travel. And I think this is the month where you really solidify this future self. This is you over the long-term course of your life. And so sometimes the Nine of Swords with the builder, you know, the Prince of Pentacles, it feels like we've been on the daily grind. This is someone clocks in, nose to the grindstone, clocks out day after day after day. The obedient builder, the good employee. And the Nine of Swords may feel like that's never gonna end. This is my life now forever, just clocking in, working, clocking out. That's my life. No. It may feel like that's permanent, but it's not permanent. You're creating something else. You're setting yourself up now for a future life, or, you know, for a future of freedom, of love, of soul, of following the heart, the heartfelt quest, chasing what moves your soul. Right now, it's just about enduring that daily grind as you build, and maybe this is financial. Yeah, you're saving your money now. You're working really hard every day right now to save up your money because you're going to achieve the financial freedom. Okay. Let's look at the mystery card. This will be card 11. This will be the guidance, advice, higher wisdom, a spiritual message. What do you think it's going to be? I think it's going to be a best life card. I think it's going to be the Empress or the 10 of Pentacles. Maybe the 10 of Cups even. If you got a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. 6 of Swords. Stick to the plan. Yeah, stick to the plan and know that the pain you're feeling now, or the difficulty, or the anguish, that sort of, feels like every day I go to work and it's just miserable. Every day I gotta like say no to all these fun things and I gotta just save my money. Feels miserable, right? This is you knowing that it's part of the plan and that things will change, okay? That you're moving on from that difficulty. You're moving through that difficulty. The 9 of Swords, whatever that pain is, whether this is relationships or worries or, fretting over the future or doubt or, guilt or whatever this could possibly be that hurts like this. It feels permanent, but it's not. Okay, and that's the thing with the 9 of Swords. When we're feeling this way, like me, I'm sick now, I got no voice, my chest hurts, my head hurts. I feel like this is going to be forever. I'm never going to get better. Okay? Well, we will. We'll get through this. And your life is going to be so much better because of who you're becoming going through this process. So this is a card of progress. This is a card of kind of using our willpower to push through the feelings of doubt or the feelings of regret or pain or whatever it is, anguish. You're crossing through. And on the other side is much calmer waters and much more abundant shores. You're building something very, very important in your life. And it kind of feels like this card is trying to tell you like everything's going according to plan. Okay? Smoother ground, right, lies ahead. So I like it. We're going to do an extended reading. I hope you'll join us for that. Leave a comment. Hit the like button, please, and do that hype thing, whatever that is. I have no idea. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you. I love you. We're all in this together.